This is Matt Roberts, your Recruit Boss. We're going to talk about a topic today that sticks in my craw, still sticks in my craw. I talked about it a year ago, and now I have to talk about it again. We still have players in the NFL, more and more, who are kneeling during the national anthem. Now you might say, but Matt, what does this have to do with recruiting? Well, it has a lot to do with recruiting, and we'll get to that. But first we're going to talk about why it's wrong. Look, NFL players, you can protest all you want. You're fine. That's okay. But if you do it on the football field and you disrespect the national anthem, here is what you're disrespecting. You're not disrespecting the country. You're disrespecting all of the veterans, all of the people who fought and died before you for centuries to make this country what it is today. You're disrespecting all of the veterans, all of the wounded veterans, all of the active duty personnel who serve that flag to give you the freedoms so you can protest like children and kneel because you're not getting your way, because you think things are unfair during the national anthem. That is not the time to do it, nor is it the place. This is a football game, guys. You're football players. I played in college. I played Division I ball. I didn't play in the pros, but I'll tell you one thing. I know athletes who do play in the pros. I've worked with athletes. I've helped athletes get into college and to the pros. And I know what it takes to get where you are. While others are out there fighting and dying for this country and serving, as I did, because as a veteran, 6-year active duty Army veteran, I also know what that entails and the sacrifices that the military personnel make. And with members of my family who are all veterans, one who fought on Iwo Jima in World War II, at 18 years old, others who served career in the military. I know what it takes and what they've had to sacrifice. And let's be honest, guys, you haven't sacrificed a damn thing in the NFL. Oh, you may have had some inconveniences because you had to work harder, or you got a little less sleep, or you had to study harder in your classes, or you got pulled away and couldn't party as much. But you know what? The fact of the matter is you still could party. You still could date, hang out, hook up, drink your booze, smoke your dope. Those of you who did, and you know who you are, you still had all those freedoms. You didn't sacrifice. You were given money to play football in college. You were allowed to play with the ball and play a game that you grew up playing. You got to live out your dream, and now you're in the NFL. You don't know what sacrifice is. And you're going to kneel during our national anthem and piss on the memory of the people who fought and died to give you those freedoms that you take for granted today. Look, it's simple. If America is such a horrible place, and so terrible and so unjust, find me another country where you can play the game you're playing today and make the millions of dollars that you make and go. Where else could you live and make the money you're making to play a game? And the amount of money that you're making. Where? Find it. Because when it comes down to it, the amount of money you make for one football game, for one, is more money than most people make in an entire year of incredibly hard work. You get your meals paid for by the team, your team meals. You get big money. You get medical covered by the team. You get taken care of by the team. Your clothes are washed for you. You get endorsement deals. You get coddled. You do. You guys have it very easy. And you're going to sit there and protest that things are unjust? While the game you play makes you more money than most people make in an entire year. Now, sure, some of you give to charity, and I'm not singling out the ones who don't. I'm not singling out the ones who actually have respect. I'm singling out the knuckleheads who kneel during our national anthem. You're proving nothing. You are 1.7% of all college students who play football. 1.7% make it to the NFL. That's it. 1.7%. So really, guys, you're part of the 1%. That unfair 1%, you're part of it. You're an elitist. Whether you want to admit it or not, you're an elitist. But you're acting like you're so deprived. But you're not. But you're not. And what you're doing is, on to the topic of recruiting, what you're doing is you are giving a very poor example of, or to, the high school players who idolize you, the children who idolize you. They dance like you dance when you score a touchdown. They wear your jerseys. They wear your sports gear. They want to be you when they're playing their video games. They pretend they're you when they're on the playground or on the field. They emulate you. They idolize you. And you're going to be this type of representative of an athlete. You're going to be this kind of icon to them who kneels during our national anthem. It's 9/11 today. When 9/11 happened, I had just gotten out of the Army. And I went down to Ground Zero to help out. I don't tell a whole lot of people the story, and I'm not going to get into very deep detail because I'd rather not. But the fact of the matter is I saw an outpouring down there at Ground Zero when we were digging through rubble to try to find a survivor. And I saw everybody. Didn't matter who they were, and we were all working together, sacrificing our time for free to save people. Where were you guys? Were you down at 9/11? Down at Ground Zero at 9/11? Were you helping out? Or were you safe and comfortable and hoping it's all over with? Or were you too young and still in college, getting ready to be part of that 1.7%? I'm not saying I'm better than you for doing it. I'm not saying those of us who were down there are better than you for doing it. But what I'm saying is we understand the sacrifice. We understand what it takes in this country. We understand that we work together to make things happen. We don't protest during the national anthem. You can protest any other time, but not during the national anthem, especially not on or around 9/11. It's inexcusable either way you slice it. And when you have young people who look up to you and idolize you and want to be you, they're going to emulate you. And this message is to the young athletes. Pick and choose who you idolize. This is not what you want to be. Character in recruiting matters. College coaches do not respect bad character. Not at all. And if you're trying to get recruited by a coach who happens to be a veteran or is a family member of a veteran or a member of a Gold Star family who lost someone in combat, fighting and dying to honor this country, to protect democracy in this country and our freedoms, you're going to turn that coach off. I've said this before, about a year ago. You have to go along to get along. These NFL players, they're elitists. They make millions of dollars to play a game. You're only aspiring to be there. So choose your battles. Choose them wisely and be very careful. Do not emulate these NFL players and kneel because you think it's the cool thing to do, because it's not the cool thing to do. It's not. Why do you think NFL ratings are down so much? That's a big part of it. Don't think it's not. People don't want to see that. They don't respect it. What I do respect are the players who do kneel after the game to pray and thank God for what they have. What I do respect are those who pray and kneel and thank God after they achieve a big play or do something great. Those are the people I respect. Those are the people we all respect. That's all it is the proper way to protest. And for you to disrespect the flag, NFL players, you're sending the wrong message, and you should know better. So, that's all I have to say. Until next time, athletes, work hard, emulate the right idols, develop your character, honor the flag, honor the country, because it's the greatest country in the world, and it's put you where you are today. And it can get you in great places if you just work hard and know your goal. Until next time, this is Matt Roberts, RecruitBoss. Follow me at RecruitBoss on Facebook and on Twitter. God bless America. There you go.